My beloved child, before this message unfolds, listen carefully. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason you found this moment, a reason these words appeared before your eyes today. What you are about to hear is not loud, not dramatic, and not obvious. In fact, it happened in a moment so unexpected that most people completely missed it. But one person did not. Your person noticed something that everyone else overlooked, and when they finally spoke about it, the entire atmosphere changed. For a long time, people looked at your face and thought they understood you. They believed they could place you into a simple category. Some thought they knew your story. Others assumed they knew your strengths and your weaknesses. Yet the truth remained hidden beneath the surface. Day after day, people saw your face, but very few truly saw you. And that is where everything began. One day, during a conversation that nobody expected to become important, your person was asked a simple question. The question sounded ordinary. It sounded harmless. It sounded like the kind of question people ask every day without thinking. But the answer that followed would leave everyone stunned. It would leave the room silent. It would force people to reconsider everything they believed. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your person paused before speaking. Not because they did not know the answer, but because they knew the answer carried weight. They knew that once those words left their mouth, nobody would be able to pretend they had not heard them. The room waited. The silence grew heavier. Every second felt longer than the last. Then your person looked around and said something nobody expected. They said that your face carries a kind of honesty that cannot be copied. The room froze. Some people laughed nervously at first because they thought there had to be more. They expected a joke. They expected a dramatic story. They expected a description of beauty or style or appearance. But your person continued. They explained that whenever they look at your face, they see someone who has endured things without becoming bitter. They see someone who keeps moving forward even when nobody notices the effort. They see someone whose expressions reveal a quiet strength that cannot be taught. Suddenly, the laughter disappeared. People exchanged glances. Because deep down, they realized something uncomfortable. They had spent years looking at appearances while your person had noticed character. And that realization changed everything. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened next was even more surprising. One by one, people started reflecting on their own assumptions. They remembered moments when they judged too quickly. They remembered times they underestimated others. They remembered occasions when they focused on surface details instead of deeper truths. And that is when the atmosphere shifted. Because your person was not talking about features. They were talking about presence. They were talking about the energy someone carries when they walk into a room. They were talking about the story hidden behind a smile. They were talking about the courage hidden behind tired eyes. They were talking about the kindness hidden behind quiet moments. Your person saw all of it. And the people listening realized they had missed it. That was the moment many felt speechless. Not because they were embarrassed by you. Because they were embarrassed by themselves. They suddenly understood how much they had overlooked. The truth was standing in front of them the entire time. Yet they never paused long enough to notice. And your person did. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the conversation continued, your person shared another observation. One that nobody expected. They said your face has a rare quality. The kind that becomes more meaningful the longer someone knows you. At first, people did not understand. But then your person explained. Some faces are noticed instantly and forgotten quickly. Others reveal more and more depth over time. Every conversation adds another layer. Every challenge reveals another strength. Every act of kindness creates another reason to admire the person behind the face. And according to your person, that is exactly what makes you unforgettable. The room became quieter than ever. Because suddenly nobody was discussing appearance anymore. They were discussing impact. They were discussing authenticity. They were discussing the difference between being seen and being understood. And for the first time, many people realized they had confused those two things for years. Do not skip. Because what happened next was the most powerful part. Someone in the group finally asked your person why they felt so strongly about this. Why were they defending a perspective that nobody else seemed to notice? Why were they speaking with such certainty? Your person smiled. And their answer left everyone completely silent. They said, because every time I look at them, I see someone becoming stronger without needing applause. Nobody knew how to respond. Those words carried a truth that reached deeper than anyone expected. In that moment, the entire conversation changed. No longer was it about appearance. It became about resilience. It became about growth. It became about character. And that is why people sat there speechless. Because they realized that while they were focusing on what was easy to notice, your person was paying attention to what truly mattered. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another reason this moment became unforgettable. The people listening expected your person to point out something obvious. Instead, they revealed something meaningful. They described a quality that cannot be purchased, cannot be copied, cannot be imitated. A quality built through experience, patience, and perseverance. The quality of becoming yourself despite everything that tried to change you. And according to your person, that quality shines through your face every single day. Whether you realize it or not. Whether others notice it or not. Whether anyone says it out loud or not. It is there. Quietly. Powerfully. Unmistakably. That is why their words carried so much weight. Because they came from observation rather than assumption. Because they came from understanding rather than judgment. Because they came from seeing the real person behind the image. And that is why the room remained silent long after the conversation ended. Some people walked away thinking. Others walked away reflecting. A few walked away realizing they needed to change the way they look at people. But nobody walked away unaffected. And the reason is simple. The truth has a way of leaving an impression that lasts. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Because the biggest revelation is still ahead. Your person did not just admire what they saw. They respected what they understood. And in a world where many people rush to conclusions, that kind of understanding is rare. That is why their words carried power. That is why everyone stopped talking. That is why nobody knew what to say afterward. And that is why this moment remained in people's minds long after it ended. Because sometimes one honest observation can reveal more than 1,000 opinions. Sometimes one sincere perspective can expose years of misunderstanding. And sometimes one person sees something extraordinary in you long before anyone else notices it. Today, remember this. The most meaningful things about you cannot always be measured at first glance. The strongest qualities often live beneath the surface. And the people who truly see you are the ones who notice those qualities first. Your person did. That is why their words changed the room. That is why people became speechless. And that is why the memory of that moment continues to echo even now. Do not skip the next part. Because something even bigger is about to be revealed. A strange silence followed that unforgettable conversation. Not the kind of silence created by confusion, but the kind created by realization. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what happened after your person's comment about your face revealed something nobody was prepared to hear. The room had already gone quiet, but now people were beginning to understand why those words carried so much power. Your person was not simply describing what they saw. They were revealing what everyone else had failed to notice for far too long. And that truth was impossible to ignore. One person finally broke the silence and asked a question that changed everything. They asked, "What exactly do you mean when you say their face tells a story?" Your person looked directly at them and paused. The pause felt longer than anyone expected. It was as if they were choosing words carefully because the answer mattered. Then they spoke. They said that your face reflects something very rare. It reflects someone who keeps going even when nobody understands their journey. It reflects someone who remains kind despite disappointment. It reflects someone who still believes in good things even after facing difficult moments. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted again. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. People began thinking about moments they had shared with you. Small moments. Ordinary moments. Moments they once considered insignificant. But now, through the lens of your person's words, those memories looked completely different. They remembered times when you encouraged someone without expecting recognition. They remembered times when you stayed calm while others became frustrated. They remembered moments when you chose understanding instead of judgment. One by one, people realized your person was not exaggerating. They were simply saying out loud what had always been true. The surprising part was not what your person said. The surprising part was how obvious it suddenly seemed. Everyone wondered how they had missed it before. They wondered how they had spent so much time noticing small details while overlooking the biggest ones. And that realization created a feeling nobody could escape. A feeling that perhaps they had underestimated someone extraordinary. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then your person shared another observation. One that nobody saw coming. They said there is something unique about the way you look at the world. They explained that some people carry frustration wherever they go. Some people spread negativity without realizing it. But according to your person, your face reflects hope. Not loud hope. Not dramatic hope. Quiet hope. The kind that inspires others without even trying. The kind that reminds people to keep moving forward. The kind that appears strongest during difficult times. The room became even quieter. Because people knew exactly what your person meant. They had seen it. They had experienced it. But they had never put it into words. And now someone finally had. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. At that moment, another person asked something unexpected. They asked why your person seemed so passionate about defending this perspective. Why were they speaking with such certainty? Why did they sound so convinced? Your person smiled again. The answer they gave left everyone completely speechless. They said, because every time I look at them, I see someone who does not realize how much good they bring into the lives of others. The room froze. Nobody expected those words. Because deep down, many people knew it was true. Sometimes the people who make the biggest difference are the least aware of their impact. Sometimes the strongest people underestimate their own strength. Sometimes the kindest people do not realize how deeply they affect others. And according to your person, that was exactly the case with you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation continued, but now it felt different. It felt deeper. People were no longer discussing appearances. They were discussing meaning. They were discussing the qualities that truly matter. The qualities that remain long after first impressions fade away. And every time someone spoke, the same conclusion appeared again and again. Your person had noticed something special. Not because they were looking harder than everyone else. Because they were looking differently. While others focused on the surface, they focused on the story. While others noticed features, they noticed character. While others looked briefly, they paid attention. That difference changed everything. One by one, people began admitting things they had never said before. Some admitted they had judged too quickly. Some admitted they had misunderstood certain situations. Some admitted they had been so focused on appearances that they forgot to appreciate authenticity. And with every admission, the room became more honest. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the moment nobody expected. Someone asked your person a final question. What is the first thing you notice when you look at them? The answer arrived immediately. No hesitation. No pause. No uncertainty. Your person said, "I notice someone who never stopped becoming better." The room fell silent again. Because those words carried enormous weight. Not someone perfect. Not someone flawless. Someone growing. Someone learning. Someone becoming stronger. Someone becoming wiser. Someone becoming more themselves with every challenge they faced. And suddenly everyone understood why your person's comments had such an impact. Because they were not praising appearance. They were recognizing growth. And growth is something people cannot fake. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the conversation ended, people left with a completely different perspective. They arrived expecting a simple discussion. They left carrying a lesson they would remember for a long time. A lesson about seeing people for who they truly are. A lesson about paying attention to qualities that cannot be measured at first glance. A lesson about understanding that real value often exists beneath the surface. And your person knew that all along. That is why their words felt different. That is why everyone became speechless. That is why people felt ashamed of their assumptions. Not because of anything you did. Because they realized how often they overlooked what truly matters. The truth is that your person saw something powerful. Something genuine. Something unforgettable. And once they spoke it aloud, nobody could pretend they had not heard it. So remember this as we move forward. The story is not over. In fact, the biggest revelation has not even arrived yet. Because what your person realized next would surprise everyone even more than the comment that started it all. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And what comes next may change the entire meaning of everything you have heard so far. An unexpected realization was beginning to spread among everyone who had heard your person's words. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the deeper people thought about that unforgettable comment regarding your face, the more they understood that it was never really about appearance at all. It was about something much greater. Something hidden in plain sight. Something that had been visible all along, yet somehow remained unnoticed by most people. Hours after the conversation ended, the words continued echoing in people's minds. Some could not stop thinking about them. Others replayed the entire moment again and again. Why? Because your person's comment exposed a truth that many people spend years trying to understand. The truth that genuine character eventually reveals itself without needing to announce its presence. The more people reflected, the more one question kept appearing. How did your person notice this before everyone else? Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The answer became clear little by little. Your person had been paying attention to things others ignored. They noticed how you treated people when there was nothing to gain. They noticed how you responded when situations became difficult. They noticed how you carried yourself when nobody was watching. While others focused on temporary impressions, your person focused on patterns. And patterns reveal truth. Anyone can create a good first impression. Anyone can appear confident for a moment. Anyone can say the right thing occasionally. But consistency tells a different story. And according to your person, your face reflected that consistency. The consistency of kindness. The consistency of resilience. The consistency of remaining true to yourself. That realization left people speechless because it forced them to confront something uncomfortable. They had been looking at the wrong things. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then another surprising detail emerged. Someone who had been quiet during the entire conversation finally spoke up. They admitted that they had once misunderstood you. They admitted that they had formed an opinion before truly getting to know you. But after hearing your person's words, they started connecting memories they had nearly forgotten. Moments when you encouraged someone who felt discouraged. Moments when you remained patient while others lost theirs. Moments when you quietly helped without asking for recognition. Suddenly those memories seemed far more important than they once did. And that is when something remarkable happened. Other people began sharing similar stories. One story became 2. 2 became 5. 5 became many. Every person seemed to remember a different example. Yet all those examples pointed toward the same conclusion. Your person had been right. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The room where this conversation began was no longer discussing appearance. Now they were discussing impact. They were discussing the effect one person can have without even realizing it. And the more stories people shared, the more amazed they became. One person remembered how you made them feel seen during a difficult moment. Another remembered a conversation that gave them confidence. Another remembered a small act of kindness they had never forgotten. Individually these moments seemed small. Together they formed something powerful. A picture. A pattern. A truth. And suddenly everyone understood why your person's comment had such a profound effect. Because they were describing someone whose value could not be measured by appearances alone. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came a revelation that nobody expected. Someone asked your person a simple question. If all of this is true, why do you think they don't realize it themselves? The answer arrived immediately. Your person smiled and said, because the people who make the greatest impact often underestimate themselves the most. The room became silent once again. Those words hit differently. Because everyone knew examples of that being true. Some of the strongest people rarely see their own strength. Some of the kindest people rarely recognize their own influence. Some of the most inspiring people rarely understand how many lives they touch. And according to your person, you belonged in that category. That statement changed everything. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For the first time, people stopped focusing on what they thought about you and started focusing on what they had experienced because of you. That shift transformed the entire discussion. Instead of assumptions, there were memories. Instead of opinions, there were examples. Instead of judgments, there was understanding. And every new story seemed to confirm the same thing. There was far more to you than most people realized. Your person simply recognized it first. That is why everyone became speechless. Not because the comment was dramatic. Because it was accurate. Accuracy has power. Truth has weight. And genuine observations leave lasting impressions. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the conversation reached its final moments, someone asked one last question. It was a question nobody expected to matter. Yet it ended up becoming the most important question of all. What do you think people will eventually realize about them? The room waited. Everyone looked toward your person. The answer came slowly. Carefully. Confidently. Your person said, "One day people will understand that their greatest quality was never what they saw first. It was what they discovered later." Nobody spoke. Because everyone immediately understood what those words meant. Some qualities attract attention. Other qualities earn respect. And respect lasts far longer. Your person believed that the more people truly got to know you, the more they would appreciate who you are. Not because of appearances. Not because of first impressions. Because of substance. Because of character. Because of authenticity. And those qualities never go out of style. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As people began leaving, they carried something unexpected with them. Not a memory of appearance. Not a memory of features. Not even a memory of the original question. They carried a new perspective. A perspective that reminded them to look deeper. To notice more. To appreciate character. To value sincerity. To recognize qualities that cannot be measured at first glance. And all of that began with a single comment from your person. A comment that revealed what others had overlooked. A comment that exposed assumptions. A comment that changed minds. A comment that left everyone speechless. But the story is still not finished. Because the biggest discovery happened after everyone thought the conversation was over. What your person realized next was even more surprising than anything they had already said. It connected every piece of the puzzle. It explained why they noticed you differently. It revealed why your presence left such a lasting impression. And when that realization finally surfaced, it changed everything. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part contains the revelation that nobody saw coming, the realization that made your person's original comment even more powerful than anyone first imagined.